David, what has been it like in your area?
Yes, of course, we are coming to you live from Toronto, and where I am right now is the Tally Center, where the tallying of
as Saidi Baguma is potentially going to be announced as the new mayor of Arua Central Division. This and much more with Samson Kasumba.
Thank you very much. It is Joseph, it is Alex, it is David and Ramson and myself and Kanri and Sibia ready to give you the letters as far as the election tallying is concerned. It may also be a very unlucky day for some. Vote counting underway across the country following the successful conclusion of LC3 and town council elections.
The machines are working well.
BVVK machines function normally during today's voting. Could this be the first step into the digital-based elections for Uganda?
But last time, I don't know what was, maybe they had corrupted them, I don't know.
The fate of the government chief whip. Might he follow his cabinet colleagues who lost in the parliamentary elections?
It's apparent that the purpose of the recount is not achievable.
Is it over for Toro's Iron Lady? Or will Sarah Pendi still run to a higher court?
But I want to assure them that I'm not yet done.
My name is Chagulanyi Sentamo Robert, also known as Bobby Wine.
The UPDF denied strength.
This is NBS Live at 9 with Victoria Sibia, Samson Kasumba and Kanari Mugume.
As far as anchoring bulletins, I'm not done. And just like the BVVKs, I'm in full operation. But I also want you to know that tonight on Barometer Akasa Meme, we do have the Right Honorable Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, Saba Minister wa Uganda. She is going to be live on Barometer Akasa Meme. Talking operations, the operation of the biometric voter verification kits, known as the BVVKs, has once again raised questions among some Ugandans after devices functioned smoothly, unlike during the previous presidential and parliamentary elections where they reportedly failed. Today's polling in Wakiso district went on without major interruptions and glitches, despite a notable reduction in the voter turnout.
Unlike the presidential, parliamentary and the Lord Mayor elections, the biometric voter verification kits BVVK machines operated efficiently without any technical hitch. At most polling stations, voters' biometric details were captured successfully on the first attempt. Voters were then able to verify the details, receive their ballots and proceed to vote for their preferred leaders without delay. At Nansana polling station, voter turnout was relatively low, but those who arrived were served promptly and returned to their daily activities. In Naweru, polling also proceeded smoothly. Voters expressed excitement and relief as the BVVK machines worked without interference, something many had not experienced in previous elections.
The machines are working well. Compared to other time, during presidential and parliamentary, they refused to perform. But today they have performed very well.
It was smooth, and then they gave me the ballots for me to go proceed and vote.
Even in Kira municipality, voters were processed on time with no significant delays. However, many voters questioned why the same machines that previously failed were now working efficiently.
Even if it's a name, the scanning the name is okay. But last time, I don't know what was, maybe they had corrupted them, I don't know.
Some voters attributed the earlier failures to the internet blackout experienced during past elections, saying it may have affected the machine's functionality.
Sometimes the users have not been accustomed. It was the first time they were seeing the machines. These things happen in IT. A first-time user, you've not seen them. There are many people. It was a more critical election, round of elections and mayor, but also they've had time to practice.
It was called about the internet breakdown, but now the internet is on. Things are working well.
The Electoral Commission has not officially explained what changed in the operation of the biometric voter verification machines. Our attempts to reach the Electoral Commission for a comment were unsuccessful. However, confidential sources indicate that the technical challenges that affected the devices previously had since been resolved, allowing normal operations.
All sorts of reasons there, including internet breakdown. That was a rib cracker there. Now let me talk to my colleague Ramson Muhere, who is in the business of giving us the latest. Ramson, the candidates at about this time are waiting for the results with bated breath. Is there tension in the air, the kind of tension that you can slice through with a knife?
Well, Samson, the silence in this particular place in the respective tents tells that the tension is indeed high as results continue to come in from different parishes across the divisions that make Kampala, the 5 divisions of Nakawa, Machindye, Kampala Central, Rubaga and Kawempe. As we speak, tallying of results has already started taking place, particularly in the Machindye division tent, where the returning officer from Machindye has already started reading in results that have already come in. This process is going to be like this until about results from 99 parishes that cut across Kampala are read out and cleared. Of course, when results are read out, they are passed to another team from the same division that has computers where results are entered into the system before they are declared, before the total tallying is done and the final results released to the returning officer of Kampala districts. The setup here is that each division has a particular tent where results from those particular divisions are going to be declared from. We have Machindye division with their tent, we have Kawempe division, we have Rubaga division, we have Central division, and of course Nakawa division, where each candidates and their agents are sitting. When candidates arrive here, they all look out for their particular tents, and that is where they sit as they await for the results that come from their respective divisions. We're talking about 99 parishes, and that means each parish is sending 2 candidates. That's close to 200 candidates being declared, of course, just in councillors, and of course we're talking about 5 mayors from the 5 divisions that are going to be getting elected today and whose results will be declared. We are not sure when the declaration, the final results will be made, as results are just starting to come in. In each tent, Samson, and the viewer of NBS, there is a screen pressed in front. Now that screen is a display screen, and particularly results that have already been declared and entered into the system are displayed on that particular screen. So followers or candidates and their agents are able to view on that screen which candidate has scored or how many votes and from which particular division or from how many polling stations. Every tent from the various divisions has that particular screen, and it is meant to, of course, confirm the number of votes that have been counted, the number of polling stations that have been counted. From there, results are passed on to the Kampala regional returning officer, who is Chobtun Jennifer, and it is only her and her that is meant to declare winners. When the winner is announced, Samson and the viewer of NBS, we are here to confirm who has won where and which division, and we shall be bringing you details, of course, as they come in, as they are declared. We also confirm that so and so has been declared. Samson, we are still here. I cannot tell you the time that we are going to leave here. We could be here up to tomorrow, given the experience that we have had in the past. And we're talking about 99 parishes, over 180 positions. Samson, back to you at the Political Command Center.
Ramson, the nation is relying on you. Now, some of you watching want to know what is happening in the west of the country, the reason for which I am turning to the very able services of Alex Mugasha to give us a sense of what is happening in the western part of the country. Alex, the nation is waiting. A lot of people want to know, do we have any winners yet? Do we have any surprises? Are there any shocks? Have we had a result that will leave us going, huh?
Thank you very much, Samson. Good evening to you, and good evening to you watching us this evening. Now, there's no winner yet that has been declared here at the Kamukuzitale Center, where the Electoral Commission is where it has organized the Tally Center. But at least what we know is that tensions continue to flare amongst different camps, especially for the division mayor candidates. We have two candidates from Mbarara City South, where we have Asimwe Francis Ntenje, Jomo Mugabi, the NRM flag bearer, and Seguja Christ for the National Unity Platform. But the tight competition is between the NRM's Jomo Mugabi and Francis Ntenje Asimwe, who is an independent candidate. Now, at least what we know is that amongst these camps, for them, they already have some of the leading candidates, but we do not have formal declaration from here at the Tally Center. But we also have Mbarara City North Division, where we have two candidates, where the tight competition is between two candidates, and that is Gumisiriza Chabwisho, the incumbent, who lost the flag in the NRM primaries, as well as Mugume Benon, who is the NRM flag bearer. Now, there is a very tight competition there, and we actually had earlier communication that there has been some sort of chaos that was about to erupt, but security tried to contain it. But at least what we can confirm is that from the 305 polling stations that we have in Mbarara City, we do not have results that are coming in here yet, and we're getting now to about 9:20, and we do not have the results here. That means we'll have to wait until the results get here, and then the returning officer stroke election administrator Violet Atura can now begin the process together with the Electoral Commission. Like you can see, the team is very ready here. They are ready to begin tallying. And also some of the four candidates' agents are already here. Some have already started to trickle in, securities as well, deployed heavily outside. And so we can get to see who will be declared the winner from Mbarara City South, declared the winner for Mbarara City North Division in terms of the mayors for this very area. But generally, the participation this time round, since morning, has been a little bit fair compared to the previous election for the local government. At least today, one would describe a fair turn-up in as far as this election is concerned. But also, we saw the utilization of the biometric verification voters' machines. They were functioning very normally at different polling stations, about 305 of them in Mbarara City. And also, we saw that for those who the machines would reject their fingerprints, they would at least resort to the facial recognition. And for those who would not recognize both, then they would be referred to their respective polling stations, because the machines can easily detect where your polling station is. So generally, I would describe this as a very calm and fair turn-up in as far as election for this time round is concerned. The deployment hasn't been as much. It's just police constables at different polling stations. That is generally the outlook of today's election. Let me get back to you, Samson, at the Political Command Center as we wait for results to come in and we begin tallying. For now, good evening.
Thank you very much. Now, West Nile was not too long ago connected on the national grid. So I have Joseph Omagol here with me. Let me connect him on the grid for the broadcast. I'll come back to you in a very little bit. And we're talking about the broadcasting of results that are coming out of different parts of the country. But before we go to Joseph Omagol, it is almost turning into a two-horse race for Arua City Central Division, in spite of 8 candidates seeking to replace Mzaid Kemis as the division mayor there. Incumbent Mzaid Kemis opted to contest for member of parliament, and indeed did win, leaving 8 candidates tussling and hustling it out to fit in his very not so small shoes. But by the start of tallying, NRM's Saidi Baguma and independent candidate Alege Wahab were front runners, closely followed by Nezima Okokoru, and that is of ANT, Ochokuru. It is there. Meanwhile, the BVVK machines worked very smoothly for mayor elections, but failed to function when it was time for council elections.
it came to a close for the division elections in Arua City. The BVVK machines proved effective for mayoral position, but the councillors' elections were done manually.
But the challenge right now with the machine is also that it has accepted the ballot. It's scanning actually the ballot papers for the mayor, that's the chairperson for the city division, but it is again it has rejected the one for the councillors. Now the challenge we are having with the voters, one, why is it
the same constituency?
The election has not been bad compared to the city mayors. At least there's kind of a small turn-up. I try to do a lot of mobilization for my people to come out to vote. I saw there's a little bit of turn-up, and I'm so confident that I'm winning it this time.
I'm so grateful that actually today arrived. We are working, so by the end of the day we are going to...
That I'm not happy because of the low turn-up. You see, it keeps on getting low and low. I don't know why, but this must set a message to the government.
And I pray that I go through. I have come here, I have casted my vote willingly, genuinely, and I put prayers first while casting my vote.
In the 8 candidates race for Arua City Central Division mayoral seat, there is tight competition between Baguma of NRM, Alege, an independent candidate, and closely followed by Nezima Ochokoro of ANT. Results are already trickling in from various polling stations.
Let me touch base with Joseph Omagor then to give us the latest this evening. Joseph, thank you so much. Joseph, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. This looks like David Ocheng. Yeah, finally. Joseph, what's the latest as far as West Nile is concerned?
Thank you very much, Samson. What you can actually know right now, we have celebrations on the streets of Arua, and actually I've seen the supporters of Zaidi already celebrating because from what we have got to know from the preliminary results is that he's leading by about 3,000. So far he has 6,000, the follower who is Alege has about 3,000, and then Ochokuru who is having about 1,000. So he is already out there celebrating with his supporters. But here at the Tally Center, we have got Jamal from Tanganyika Parish, who is also leading. And then we have got Hamid Salima from Pangisa, is also leading. And then we have got Oshoni from Baza, who is also leading. So basically, those are the ones who are leading so far here in Arua City Central Division. But speaking briefly about the issues they want to address is the issue of unemployment among young people. And then also, if they get the chance, they will make sure that the businesses, local businesses here are owned by the locals, and then the retailers are all locals. And the main market here is able to provide space for the women who are out there and, of course, trying to do business for a living. So basically, those are some of the issues these people want to address if they are given the mandate to be the leaders of Arua City Central Division. So far, that is what's happening here. And after this tallying, I'll be giving you the results. Back to you, Samson.
Thank you very much, Joseph Omagor, for us in West Nile. Now, heavy security deployment marked the mayoral elections as far as Tororo municipality is concerned, as voters went to the polls under the watchful eye of armed security personnel. Now, despite the presence of police and other sister security forces across all the 67 polling stations, voter turnout remained notably low in a race that saw 3 challengers battle incumbent mayor Kenneth Orono. These are the details.
Security deployment marked mayoral elections in Tororo municipality, with security personnel armed with sticks and guns stationed at various polling stations. The elections pitted 3 challengers, Robert Otetai, Alexon Mukakanya and Banadu Cheng, against the incumbent mayor Kenneth Orono, as voters headed to the polls across the municipality. Despite the tight security presence, voter turnout remained notably low across the municipality's 67 polling stations.
But there's no restlessness like there was in the previous elections. So far, I have faith in the machines, and we hope
that these elections will be as fair as possible, because technology has come back into play. Those things of ballot stuffing, those things of manipulation, the risk of that happening has minimalized.
Some candidates attributed this low voter turnout to the heavy security deployment at polling stations, claims that were dismissed by security authorities.
It's like we're in a battlefield. I wonder why. And yet this is an election. People are supposed to come out and exercise their constitutional right. It's not a battlefield. But even if it is security, it does not call for this level of deployment.
There are areas where we had roads closed, especially around Uhuru Drive. We had roads closed. So yes, maybe some people didn't want disturbance, but also I witnessed so many polling stations where people came and we could not meet the number 10 to start the polling, and many people walked away. It's very hard that somebody who has come to vote will then come back after coming in the morning and they fail to vote.
Basing on our observation in the previous election which took place a week ago, in 42 sub-counties, we decided to make sure that since we have enough force, to make sure no hooliganism, no disobedience of the law takes lead in the municipality.
To understand the story better, it is important for me, myself, and yourselves to understand what is on the ground at the minute, and the reason for which David Ocheng is here. David, you had come a little earlier than you should. Now it's your moment to shine. Give us a sense of what is going on there.
Thank you, Samson, and of course I'm coming to you live from the Tally Center, where tallying of results are actually ongoing. Tallying here began a little bit early today. It's not like during parliamentary and then presidential, where tallying began almost coming to 8. But here today, by exactly 6, the tallying of results were already ongoing from the 67 polling station in Tororo municipality. And of course, as we speak right now, the tallying of results for mayoral race is almost 85%. And as we speak right now, someone called, of course, Ochieng Bernard is actually winning the incumbent, and that is Kenneth Ororo. And of course, I'm here. Most of this, of course, this race had 5 contestants. As I speak right now, it is only one person here, and of course, that is none other than Bernard or Ochieng. Mr. Bernard, should I say congratulations, or I'm late to say that?
I think you could be right, but because from the provisional results that have come through, we are on the lead, and not just a narrow lead, we are on the lead of over 2,500 votes so far. So, David, you're right to say congratulations.
We talked about low voter turnout. What do you think caused this?
We had a very low voter turnout. I think there is a tendency of our people losing interest, especially after the parliamentary elections. We even saw that happening the other day when we had the LC5 election. But also, there has been very heavy deployment today for this election. For me, I really think that could have been the reason why we didn't have the voters there. But nevertheless, the ones that turned out really voted well, and I'm happy they have voted for a new mayor in this municipality.
Okay, let's wait. We are still here. Of course, Samson, we are still here. The tallying of this result is almost is still ongoing, and as I said, we are at 85% for the mayoral race, and of course we are waiting for that result. As we speak right now, Kenneth Ororo is actually having around 2,000 votes, and the person who is leading, who is Ochieng Bernard, is having over 4,000. So we are waiting for this result. For now, let me hand over to you at the political command center.
Thank you very much, David Ocheng, for us out there in Tororo. I can certainly tell you that it is the Honorable Sarah Penny who says she is not yet done. I can also certainly assure you this bulletin is not yet done. This is what is coming next.
More to come. Brought to you by...
Everyone knows we use Global Paint Undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paint's products.
Global Paint, a reliable
The question that we will be answering when we come back is, what is the next step for the Honorable Sarah Opendi now that she is saying that she is not done? This is not just about it. What are the options that she has? I also have not too many options other than a break.
You will always know when you're in the presence of the finest. It's like time slows down, just enough for you to feel everything in full flavor.
Tusker Malt Lager. Alcohol is not for sober persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Buy genuine Decra roofing tiles, the original stone-coated alu zinc steel roofing system from New Zealand. Choose from Heritage, Milano, Shingo, Shake and Classic profiles with a variety of colors and a 50-year warranty. Only available at Depot Uganda. Telephone 0776 898 888 or 0758 853 285. Depot Uganda. Tried, tested and trusted. In the heart of Uganda lies a place where dreams become a reality. Welcome to Zion Estates, your gateway to prime land with titles across Uganda, with estates in Mukono, Bombo, Kaga, Matuga, and many more other estates. With over 15 years of experience, you're guaranteed the best, and you can start paying in installments. All our estates are well planned. Start your journey to land ownership today. Zion Estates, your home, your prestige.
I want to be an engineer. I want to be a chef. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be a musician. I want to be a basketballer.
Twinbrook International School is a school where you will see people from around the world. It's diverse. You will have the opportunity to experience things you've never experienced before. We have highly skilled teachers and a comfortable environment that does not pressure but eases the minds of students to help them into their future careers. Our school integrates art, culture, history, language, and performing arts such as drama, music, and dance into the academic curriculum. Work smart, succeed. Twinbrook International School.
Ochikoze mwana. Shop is stocked, customers ready. Now it's time for takeoff. So offer them more. Become a Wendy agent today and offer mobile money top-ups, customer service support, utility payments, water, power, pay TV. You're nah. Turn your shop into a Wendy agent hub and commissions on every tap and easy access to loans.
That's right. More foot traffic, more sales, more profit, paid instantly. Register free. Call 0800 217 200 or WhatsApp 0707 993 930.
Wendy Wonawoli.
Today is a good day to draw up a new play. So start something. Make your move and get in your groove. Do it for the gram. Do it for the culture. Be loud. Be extra. Be a thinker. A light eater. A Tusker light drinker. Start something. Turn on your light. Tusker light.
So Muchara. Yes, Daddy. You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results,
right there. What we hear is that is supposedly a recount. And Isaac Otui, speak to us. What exactly is the issue and what has been resolved? Isaac?
Well, currently what I can confirm is that Fred Jalameso of Uganda People's Congress has been declared as the Member of Parliament-elect for Jury County, and that speaks a lot because 2,874 votes. Obua Dennis, of course, will second there. Molo Tom Jasper, an independent candidate with the 1,585 votes, and Omara Stephen, an independent candidate, also with the 519 votes. I spoke to a lot of locals, that those who cast their votes today, and they will tell you that they never wanted to go for this particular run because they thought they had already made their decision. I'm joined by Fred Jalameso, who is the Member of Parliament-elect for Ajuri County. You described this particular win as a great stride. How has it been? How do you feel? I can hold it for you.
Thank you very much, NTV. It has not been an easy walk, but with God, all things are possible. This victory, I dedicate it to the Almighty God, the people of Ajuri, the Uganda People's Congress, my family, and everyone who either advertently or inadvertently rendered support to make this a success.
Maybe just to get you straight, let's talk about what make you stood out for the people of Ajuri County.
Thank you very much. I went into the race for Ajuri County because I realized there were gaps in representation, in legislation, and in the budget allocation for key or critical sectors in Ajuri that are funded by the government. Even the monitoring of government projects. This is what preempted me. I studied critically and realized that the
something that means a lot for the party in the region, because currently UPC faces NRM in the region, and they're trying to, of course, strengthen their base in the region of Lango. We'll be making much more discussion on this particular win for the UPC and also what it means for the position in Lango sub-region Canary. For now, hand over back to you at the command center.
Thank you very much, Isaac Otui. Lango sub-region is quite an interesting one. Jarameso Fred from the UPC just won that one. Before that, he has just done defeating, of course, the government chief whip, who has been in that chair for two, of course, that is terms from the 10th to 11th Parliament. Now, let's move on to Tororo. The Tororo Chief Magistrates Court has dismissed an application by incumbent Tororo District Woman Member of Parliament, Sarah Achengo Pendi, seeking a vote recount in 11 polling stations, a ruling that upholds Akoth Angela as the duly elected Woman Member of Parliament for Tororo District.
Under heavy security deployment, the Tororo Chief Magistrates Court dismissed an application by incumbent Tororo District Woman Member of Parliament, Sarah Achengo Pendi, seeking a vote recount in 11 contested polling stations. The court premises were heavily guarded by both army and police personnel, with police trucks and patrol vehicles stationed around the courthouse as proceedings got underway. In a ruling delivered by Chief Magistrate Irene Nambatia, the court held that the recount could not proceed after it was established that the integrity of the ballot boxes had been compromised. The court found that 2 of the 11 contested ballot boxes had broken seals, while 4 others showed signs of tampering, rendering a credible recount impossible.
Therefore, no legitimate recount can take place under those circumstances, since the evidence of the number of votes polled by each candidate cannot be verified where ballot boxes have broken seals.
Opendi filed the application last week following her narrow defeat by her political rival, Akoth Angela, in the Tororo District Woman MP race. Akoth Angela was declared the winner with 78,542 votes, narrowly edging Opendi, who garnered 78,507 votes, in a race that attracted 8 candidates. Opendi based her application on alleged irregularities and discrepancies during the tallying of the votes at the Tororo Electoral Commission offices. Speaking to NBS television shortly after the ruling, Opendi said she was not surprised by the court's decision, especially after it emerged that some ballot boxes had been tampered with.
There have been efforts by those who claim to have won to actually ensure there is no vote recount. And they have achieved that.
She accused the National Resistance Movement Electoral Commission chairperson, Dr. Tango Doi, of orchestrating ballot stuffing with the help of the security personnel during voting, allegations she says cost her victory. Opendi insists the legal battle is far from over.
I want to assure them that I'm not yet done. There was a lot of non-compliance in parts of Kisoko, Peta, and a bit of Nagongera, where Tango Doi personally led some security people and went and ticked ballots.
But the newly elected woman member of parliament, Akoth Angela, says she is ready to face Opendi at any level.
Whether she goes to the High Court, wherever she will go, I will win her, because I know the people of Tororo voted me.
With heavy security still deployed around the court and Opendi signaling further legal action, the Tororo Woman MP contest remains politically charged.
The acting spokesperson of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, Colonel Chris Magezi, has dismissed allegations that the army is hunting for former presidential candidate and party president of the National Unity Platform, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobby Wine, who fled his residence, alleging that security forces raided his home early last week. The remarks were made after presenting 4.67 trillion shillings budget for the 2026-2027 financial year.
Officials from the Ministry of Defence and Veterans Affairs, led by Security Minister Jacob Oboth and Permanent Secretary Rosette Biengoma, appeared before the Defence and Internal Affairs Committee of Parliament to present the ministerial budget estimates spanning for 4 years of 4.67 trillion shillings for the financial year 2026-2027, to 8.8 trillion shillings for financial year 2030-2031.
I want to ask the Permanent Secretary.
But what took center stage outside the committee meeting was the ongoing fracas concerning the ongoing hide-and-seek of NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who fled his home few days after presidential results were announced and his home raided few days ago.
No one is hunting for him.
But acting spokesperson of UPDF, Colonel Chris Magazi, treats the allegations as baseless and maintains that the army is not interested in arresting Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
So he's free to be at his home. And the last time I checked, I think either this morning or yesterday evening, he was at his home. And I think he's there safe and sound. Forces, in this case the Uganda Police Force, if they have anything of interest, they can reach out to him and engage him over it.
Ever since the presidential general election was concluded, the NUP presidential candidate and party president Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has appeared on 3 occasions in 3 different places, with the latest being his hometown in Gomba and posted on social media platforms, including X. Inside the meeting chaired by Wilson Kajenje, Chairperson Defence Committee, tasked Jacob Oboth and other officials to explain the slow progress made at the increment of salaries of men in uniform.
Is it 650? It is supposed to be 700. 800 and yes. We say that is the baseline, and even HE, the Commander-in-Chief, was also stating so.
All the security services, so incremental or resolution is implemented without any net or
Appropriated, but we never got the money. And the officers out there are looking for that money.
Government has described the recently concluded 2026 presidential and parliamentary elections as largely peaceful, despite a few isolated incidents of planned violence that were successfully foiled. Authorities have warned against any internal or external attempts to destabilize the country and urged vigilance against political criminal gangs operating under the guise of activism.
The concluded 2026 presidential and parliamentary elections have been described by the government as largely peaceful despite a few reported isolated incidents. ICT Minister Dr. Chris Baryomunsi revealed that some of the casualties during the election cycle were linked to intelligence reports on
statements like Mubaisemu Egali. Egali was a call to destroy or cause harm to those that did not belong to different ideology.
Baryomunsi emphasized that the government is prepared to confront any form of internal or external aggression, warning perpetrators against using political activism to shield malicious intentions.
The government, we are resolute not to allow criminal gangs to destabilize our country under the guise of elections. Countries like Sudan, Jamaica, Madagascar, and others have since collapsed because criminal gangs hiding in political activism overrun security and collapse it. This will not happen in Uganda.
This comes amid contradictory statements regarding the post-election situation, with the commander of defense forces frequently speaking on social media. Baryomunsi clarified that such statements do not represent the official position of the state, noting that the government communications follow proper channels.
Many a time, these are just the Cavalier comments he puts on social media in his guarded or unguarded moments, but we have a formal way through which we communicate as the government of Uganda, even UPDF as an institution.
Regarding the attack at Kyagulanyi's home and other arrests, Baryomunsi stated that security agencies acted in accordance with legally prescribed procedures.
We again appeal to the police and arresting officers that when you arrest somebody, you should identify yourself and do the arrest within the confines of the law. And the person arrested should be taken to a gazetted detention center and handled in accordance with the law.
Across Africa, governments and citizens are taking critical steps to address justice reforms, post-conflict recovery and regional diplomacy. From Kenya's push to clear court backlogs through the appointment of new appellate judges to Sudan's effort to rebuild Khartoum after years of war and Senegalese move to ease tensions with Morocco following the Africa Cup of Nations. This is the regional wrap.
In Kenya, President William Ruto has appointed 15 new Court of Appeal judges, increasing the number of judges at appellate court from 27 to 42. The appointments were confirmed through a Gazette notice issued on Tuesday. Among those appointed are Independent Policing Oversight Authority Chairman Ahmed Isaac Hassan and Senior Advocate Katwa Kijen, who has previously represented President Ruto. Construction begins a youth that saw widespread destruction of infrastructure, homes and green spaces. Sudanese military-led government has since announced a gradual return to the capital after operating from Port Sudan for almost 3 years. Meanwhile, in Senegal, Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko has moved to calm tensions with Morocco following Senegal's victory over Morocco in the Africa Cup of Nations final. He described the hostility between football fans as emotional reactions rather than political or cultural divisions. Speaking during the joint cooperation mission in Rabat, leaders from both countries emphasized using sport as a tool of diplomacy, unity and economic cooperation, reaffirming their strong bilateral ties.
Tensions are rising in the Middle East after an Israeli airstrike in southern Lebanon killed Al-Manar TV presenter Al-Nur Eldin, prompting condemnation from Lebanese authorities and calls for international intervention. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced higher tariffs on South Korean imports, escalating trade tensions over breaches.
A television presenter working with Hezbollah-affiliated Al-Manar TV was killed in an Israel airstrike in the southern Lebanese city of Tyre. The victim has been identified as Al-Nur Eldin. Lebanon's information minister, Paul Marcos, has condemned the attack, describing it as a violation of international law. He has called on the international community to take urgent action to stop what he termed repeated Israel violations as tensions continue to rise in the region. In the United States, President Donald Trump has announced an increase in tariffs on imports from South Korea to 25%. The move follows accusations that Seoul failed to fully honor a trade agreement reached last year. The higher tariffs will affect a wide range of products, including automobiles, lumber, and pharmaceuticals, among others. The decision is expected to have significant implications for trade relations between the two countries. Meanwhile, the European Union and India have announced a landmark trade agreement following nearly 2 decades of negotiations. The deal is expected to allow free trade of goods between the 27-member European bloc and India, the world's most populous country. Officials say the agreement will strengthen economic ties between the two partners, who together represent nearly a quarter of the global economy and a combined market of about 2 billion people, especially at a time of growing global trade tensions.
And now let's take a look at the question tonight. For your opinion, how would you describe today's municipal and local council 3 elections in your area? That's hashtag NBS Live at 9. And let's go to the First comment coming in from Sewankambo Emmanuel Martin. He says there's been an improvement with the BVVK machines throughout the voter turnout, and the voter turnout has also continued to dampen. Hashtag Nbs Live at 9. Joseph Mele Kato says they have been so good and peaceful. Right, quite an improvement. And Vice Mato says speaks volume of how Ugandans, regardless of ideologies and party, all have little love for politics except for family and close personal reasons. The leaders saying online. Now, Mulago National Referral Hospital says Mulago doctors have successfully done a parasitic twin surgery. The surgical procedure was done to remove an underdeveloped parasitic twin from a living host twin. The surgery was successfully done and the viable twin is doing well. Parasitic twin surgery is usually a life-saving procedure to remove an underdeveloped dependent twin parasite from a fully formed healthy twin oocyte. It is necessary to eliminate risks like infection, heart failure, or organ damage caused by the parasitic tissues. Quite an interesting one. Congratulations, Mulago Hospital, for that successful surgery. It's always good to see, and that is the good news. And now, John Sadek, of course, from European Union, says a pleasure to meet with the new IGG of Uganda, Lady Justice Naluze Aisha Batala, her deputies and team to discuss the long-standing partnership with EU in Uganda on anti-corruption, anti-money laundering and accountability, and our ongoing support through GIZ Uganda. Nbs Live at 9 takes a break. When we're back here, Victoria Subia will bring you some business and sport.
I want to be an engineer. I want to be a chef. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be a musician. I want to be a basketballer.
Twinbrook International School is a school where you will see people from around the world. It's diverse. You will have the opportunity to experience